Hey people, it's the Broken Puppet and welcome back to my tattoo studio, Brokenpuppet Tattoo. Now for those wanting tattoos, just check out the description below, all details are there, or visit my website brokenpuppet.co.uk. But back to Mara Hands, new tutorial for you today. This one is how to draw a shark. Now it's a bit more detailed than old school, because old school can be a touch bit basic, so I'll just elaborate a touch on it. But I'm sure you're going to love it. It's quite simple once you get the hang of it. It's just learning the structure of the shark. I talk through the shading, line work, highlights, all the stuff you want to know. So yeah, hope you enjoy it. Subscribe, like, yada yada. You guys know it works. And I'll see you next time. Alright people, how to draw a shark. Excuse me. Yes, it's going to be something kind of like this. It's a bit more sort of new school than it is old school, because it's a bit more detailed and got a bit more to it than the basics. But yeah, it'd be quite simple once I sort of teach you this. So yeah. Ready. What you want to do, just start with like a nice kind of oval shape. Just make sure I'm going too high and too low. Yeah. So a nice big oval shape. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see the motion I'm doing. I'll try and come in a bit dark with the pencil so it shows up. See an oval shape like that? And then from this side you want to curve outwards, come out of that, and curve like a banana shape, all the way around like that. From this bit, come down just a touch from this corner bit, about here. So you want to come out. You want to come out a touch wider than the circle, and curve down into that line. Right, so you head that, and then what you want to do is just bring this line around here. Imagine this imaginary line coming off the circle, and once it hits here, just go a bit darker, take out. So you want this curve to slowly get thinner as it goes around. Now this bit going to the tail, so you have like the body and the tail. So that's the basic shape. And now for the positioning, right? So make this bit come to kind of like a point. That's going to be where the nose goes. So you can kind of sketch down a little line, more further to this side than this side. Just a little bit. Come down a touch, just a bit here, just before it starts turning. And curve this line in. Not quite as far as this line you've sketched here, just a little bit further in. Right, from there, just come pretty much straight across. So you see you now have this kind of cutout section here. And that's where your mouth's going to go. So you want that gap there, then the mouth. Now if you've got the mouth completely open, you can curve this down a bit, but going at a straight angle is a pretty sure way to get a good looking size mouth. Now the eye, I like to be roughly around this kind of position. You don't want to be too close to the edge of the mouth. If you imagine halfway through, that's roughly where you want the eye to be. That's what I like it. So I'm just doing like a little kind of circular shape there, just like overly. You'll see a lot more detail as I go into the pen. And then if you imagine sort of like coming further back from the eye, off the back, just create like a V shape, kind of poking into it, and that'll create your fin bit. From here, just in front of the fin, just 3 lines down, just creates the gills. And then if you imagine carrying on from this mouth, then curve it out like this, and then take it from this side, now this bit of the mouth, curve down, join up at the edge, and you roughly get where you want that fin to be. This fin, you don't get too much, you just kind of sketch it in there. Now the waves I'm going to show you afterwards, I'll probably just do the waves in the background instead of going over this one. That way I can just teach you how to draw the whole thing. And then you can choose whether you want to overlap the waves. Like you see in this one, you see how the waves kind of overlap here. I'll teach you how to do the waves, but I won't overlap. I'll let you guys overlap. Now this one's got the detail, the rope and like the hook, it's been hunted. I like to have the, you can pick anywhere where you want the spear to go. I tend to have the spear coming out the gill, I kind of like that. So just 2 straight lines into a little curve point. You know, it's a really basic sort of, you know, spear tip, you know, just like 2 curves off the edge. And from there, just create your rope, you know, and your rope are literally attached to the end of this. And you just create a smooth curve. You know, you don't want to turn it too sharply. You know, but as long as you're creating good circle in circles, you know, you can wrap a bit around the chest if you want. You know, a bit down there. Have a circular bit come over here. Come down here. You know, one bit here coming loose, and this is where the rope's going to kind of snap. I'm going to have a little snap edge on the rope just over there. Right. Now, a lot of this you might not be able to see too clearly, but now I'm going to go over in pen. I'm going to explain it as I do it so you can see very clearly. So we have here the eye. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that, people. Ooh. Let's have alignment now. No, stay. Back where you was. Good camera. Stay. Yeah. Right, there you go. So that's where the eye's going to go. And I'm just going to do like a little kind of white circle. And I generally just colour rest in black, you know. I like the eye on my sharp just to be blacked out. And now after you can add a few little detail bits, like I'm just going to have a line coming from the front, curving. Little wiggly line off the back. Just a little line around the top. Just like that, just real simple, nothing too crazy. Now you see this line here? Now we've got the tip of the nose. Just going to come back like so. But when we get this bit, I like to have a few kind of lappy bits. What I mean by that, like, so we've got a mouth, I'll have like a lip. So I'm going to bring this up, and a few little crease bits, so I'm going to have a little bit kind of creasing out there and just carry on that curve. Another little flick. Just all generally along that curve. Just adds a little bit of detail into the mouth shape. Got one there. Then what I do from this, I curve up a touch. And I curve that in. And then I bring up another lap, a little bit. And then I bring that just across a little bit again. Just a couple of little lines, just out to the nose. Nothing too crazy. And now the teeth are literally just teeth, you know, so just keep doing the little sharp shape, the really basic ones. You know, I like mine quite uneven, so I make big ones, little ones, kind of facing slightly different directions. And they just follow around all the way around here to about here. You can carry them the whole way around if you want. I like to kind of bring it to a point and stop. And by stopping it, I kind of put a few little kind of spare, like this little gap, as if they're kind of decreasing in size and length. Just going to bring a little curve there for now. I'll explain why I've done that little curve in a sec. And just a couple more teeth just coming down here, just on the side, not too many, just like that. And just bring a line around the side there, just so that it's like you've got the edge of the gum. I'm going to bring that there. I'm going to stop now, and then I'm going to do the bottom teeth. Now before I do that, I just want to bring that bottom lip like I've done the top one. So just again, just bring that line across, and just little flicks just off of it. A few little directions. And then that line kind of curves up. See, it just creates the edge to the mouth. Now I've done that, just literally just V-shapes for this gum bit. You can have a bit higher so you can see the gums, but because of the angle, I generally just have the teeth coming off of it like just like that. A few semicircle bits just inside, just following the shape of the inside of the mouth. It just kind of gives it that kind of tunnel look, so you're actually kind of going into it. A little lappy bit just there, and then I create a few kind of like double chins. So it's like a big curve across. And the one, and then that one kind of going further down and flicking off just like that. Now at this stage you kind of put a line there, and I've got this rope bit just coming off of this inside flap. So I'm going to bring this line here, coming across, another line just parallel. And I'll come a little bit higher there. I'm going to bring this fin up just a touch. You know, you can always adjust if you want. If I'd done it there, it wouldn't have made sense because it wouldn't have gone underneath it. And I kind of wanted it to go underneath. Then just come out the air edge, just there. And for the rope, once you've done the two parallel lines, literally just at like a about 45-degree angle, just create little kind of curved lines. But the same distance apart the whole way across. It's a real simple technique. And now I'll come back here, I'm going to bring this line down further until I get to those gills. Remember the 3 lines we've done here? So we sketched the line that was kind of curved like that. And then I'm going to bring this up. And now for this one I'm going to have to stop because I've got the spear coming out of him. So I'm just going to do the 2 lines coming up for the spear. And I'll go back to the gills. Now see, it curves out just a touch. I like to go slightly wider. You know, you don't have to, and you can just join up to the top like that if you want. I like to have mine almost kind of looks like it's been chopped, you know, like from the top. So like here, see, it looks like it's kind of been chopped to the top. You know, it's not how gills look, but for some reason I just love the way it looks. You know, you can just do 3 lines going down if you want, if you don't like the look. But I'm a fan of it. So I just do 3 there. You know, you can do the same length if you want, or shorter like I've done there. Once we get to here, we just curve this line out for the thin bit we done. I'm going to curve line there. I'm just going to have this curve under that bit of rope. Now I've done that, it's going to like a little line there, just so there's like a little kind of overturn underneath the fin. Do the other side if you want as well, it's up to you. Now back to this bit, I'm just going to do 3 semicircular shapes just on top of each other. And then bring this line up, just curve out, curve in, curve out, curve out. And it got to be nothing special, you know, just something basic, just like that. And then I'm going to bring in this curve line for the rope. See, just a nice smooth kind of curve, you know, no crazy bending or sort of like really sharp points, just 2 really nice smooth lines. And again, just at 45-degree angle, just slight curved lines, just the whole way through, roughly about the same distance apart. Just like so. And once I've done that, just sketching this fin over here. Real basic, just like that. And now we've got the other bits of rope, so I'm going to have this bit of rope curving around here. Ooh, and a bit wide on the line there. Don't panic if you do that. Yeah, so it went a touch bit too wide. Easy correction for that, because I tend to do my hard shadows, so I'm going to cut in so it's even and create a shadow on the bottom. No. If it bothers you, there's always an easy correction. What I'm going to do is kind of shadows on the bottom and away and just around certain bits. Like here, just for instance. Underneath the fin, it's going to create a hard shadow. Right, and then I'm just going to sketch in roughly the rest. Well, first off I'm going to put these 2 lines because it overlaps. The shark. Just like that. So I'm just going over those basic lines we've done. So you've got the curve around there, the tail fin. You can play more around more with the tail fin if you want. I tend to stick to the basic one, but you can cut it up like little chunks missing or make a bit more shape to it. Just put in little angle lines the whole way across. And just make a bit of a shadow there. And a little bit of a shadow of a nyar. I'm just going to put these basic shadows, you know, certain bits here, like you see we've got a double chin, the shadow's going to kind of curve onto it, so rather than being a dead straight line, it's going to curve onto it, then come a bit thinner, and we can widen up a touch as it goes further out. Just makes a bit more of a realistic shadow. You know, you don't have to, but I like my shadows to be a little bit realistic. And now I'm going to put the shadow, or the colour of it, in with the markers. You can use pencils. You know, I don't want too sharp a line on it. If you put a line there, it's going to be quite bold and it's not going to be the kind of effect that we're after. But quickly, I'm just going to go on the outside now with a thicker pen. I'm just using a Sharpie for this. Because you know me, I like my line weights. I like to have the bold outline. Nothing crazy, it's literally just just around the detail bits just to make it stand out. Shed here. So yeah, that's like the basic sort of outline. Now I'm just going to get my markers. Now you can use pencils for this, paints, anything, you know, it all does the same thing. I've got the other bit of rope there as well. So I'm going to bring this line in. You want to come below the eye. I like to make it a bit sort of wavy, don't make it dead straight. And because the angle of the fin here, I'm going to have it kind of going halfway into the fin. And I'm just going to flick out this grey from all the corner bits. So from there, up here, and just like the top bit of these gills. And I've done that, it's going to come in with my light grey. Just blend it into one. I'm being a bit quick at this, you can take your time. Now these are just basic flex markers I'm using, and nothing overly fancy. Now that I've done that, I'm just going to add a few little specks. So like here in the little overturned bits, just a few little dots, kind of ovally shapes. Nothing too crazy. And now from beneath this, I want this line to go up. And I want it to go underneath the fin, because you see the line, imagine it going around the fin, coming back and it's starting again. But when it gets to this curve here where we bent it, I'm going to take this out. I'm just going to join this up at the bottom. I'm just going to do this whole bit in dark grey. Just that line there. There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to do the same thing now, just on the inside of the mouth. You know, I'm going to do grey from the bottom corner. I'm just going to flick this out. I'm not going to touch the top bit of the gum, I'm going to have that kind of separate colour. So there's a clear definition between the inside of the mouth and what's near the edge. Excuse me. Just like that. And I'm going to use my light grey and just colouring that top bit of the gum. And just leave a little white highlight there, just so there's a difference between the gum and the inside of the mouth. I'm just going to flick a few little bits just from this side. Nothing too crazy, just inside those little kind of overturns and gaps. Yeah, so we're just working off of the lines we've already done pretty much. Excuse me. And now I'm just going to quickly put shadow in the rope. And I'm literally just flicking a bit of dark grey and then just into light grey. A real basic technique. And I'll probably come back and put a little touch of white on the inside. If you're using normal paper, you know, just leave that bit white. This is just basic craft paper. Nothing special about it, you can get it pretty much anywhere. You know, just look for a basic craft book. Craft with a K. little bit on this. It's this. Oish. Hey, fever is getting to me today. There we go. Just a little line just up the spear tip. Just a little bit of shadow inside. That's pretty much it for the colouring side of it. I'm just going to get me a rubber. Look at the rubber. There it is. Just quickly rub out the exercise pencil work. So it's a bit neater so you can clearly see everything. I'm not going to do too much white, just little highlights just here and there just to bring out certain little areas. You know, I use the white mainly to make things seem more tubular and circular. Like see this little gap just above the eye. Little white line just on the centre, just makes it kind of curved. You can see the curve more. Just there. Just a little bit here. Just inside any kind of little gap, like see here the lip. Just little white lines going through the centre of it. The double chins, just a little curve off the top, just thin. Little line down the centre. Little line for the body maybe. Just a little bit in the centre of the rope. Nothing too crazy. Just use it to kind of show off the shape. Just like that, I think. Yeah, a little bit there. And of course your teeth. So just a little bit of white just on the inside. I'm being a bit messy with this because I'm just quickly doing them. You know, normally I would spend a while just make sure I get them perfect. Just little lines across the gum. Just on the inside gum belt I tend to make my lines a bit kind of crazy. Just make it seem a bit more kind of fleshy. There we go, that's that. And now I'm just going to quickly show you guys how to do the waves. Waves are literally just a bunch of S shapes and then just fleshing them out. So I'm just going to start here, just get a curve, and then I'm going to curve this S out there. I'm just going to have another couple of ones. And once in a while, I'm just going to flick a little line just off the edge of it. Another S. So just keep it in S. You can make them bendy as much as you want, or as little, you know, as unbendy as you want. You can have them go in other directions. Like here, I'm going to have this one going the other way. So I'm just creating S shapes, just overlapping them. And we just use those S shapes to create our waves. So you see here, we started this S shape here. So I'm just going to work around the outside of that. Just curve it in. Curve around with it. And see we got this edge bit. We bring this line out, make a little detail drop. Curve out, create a little kind of curve bit for the end, like that. I'm just going to bring this up, fairly symmetric, but just slowly getting wider as I come back to a point. Just flick it out, and then I'm just going to make a little detail overlap just there, and that's going to help me work into the next line. See this next S kind of went here. I'm just making this bolder. Come back, just making like a little kind of curve flick at the edge. I'm going to come off of that line. Curve back there. Another curve, and that takes me into the next S, which curve around. Go up a bit, take a little overturn. Come back, flick over the top. And go for another flick. Let's create one more. Go off the edge of that. So you see that's got some waves going that way. You can add extra little detail bits I'm going to show you when I show them in. But again, just here, we bring these ones up. So you've got the line come from the bottom, this S shape. Little detail curve. Secondary curve just to bring it up to the next S. Bring that back. Detail a bit. Curve up onto this one. So literally just repeating that exact same process, but just making it slightly different. Just follow the line and just keep playing around with your line. You know, just create bumping up a little bit, just create little flicks, little flaps. You know, just make it interesting. You know, don't get stuck in this silly rule where you kind of just have to make an overturn, then another overturn on top, and kind of get stuck there. It's the worst thing when you get stuck, you know, with waves. You know, get something like this, like, oh, where do I go next? Just follow the curve. You know, there's a guy called Jeff Gills, oh, I can't remember his surname, but if you look it up, you know, like, you know, waves, he's got a really brilliant waves tutorial. Yeah, you see, you just got that, and that's your basic kind of curve shape. So you can just basically follow all those kind of S curves, just all the way around, and join them up. You know, just creates a little bit of background. You know, it's nothing too crazy. And I'm just going to thicken these out in just certain areas. Like you see here, when I make this little overturn, I'm just going to come off the edge of that, make it kind of circular. Come up, your little inside bits, I'm just going to put a little shadow just on the inside. Kind of certain bits, when I flick around, create a bigger kind of turn. It's literally just a matter of just filling in and just making a bit more kind of 3D. You know, always work with the shape you got. You know, look at the shape and think, how can I carry on that shape once that line ends? And kind of curve it around. Okay, we got this curve, I'm going to bring this around, curve up with that, extends that curve, takes that area up, and boom, it's done. Get lost, just add like little circle bits sometimes. You know, I love doing little circles and then a little white highlight around them. Just creates like little kind of bubbly bits. Just a little flick, 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 just coming around there. You know, real basic, you know, but it's really effective. And then, you know, if you're on like this kind of colour paper, you can just bring in a few little white highlights just around the edges, around those circles we've done. Just like a little semicircle. Line up, line off. See, I'm being quite messy and quite basic here, but you can be as playful with it as you want. There we go. Yeah, and that's how to draw a shark. A tiny little bit in the pupil, and you're done. Voila. I hope that helps. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, if you do these tutorials, do send me pictures. You know, go to my Facebook. You know, Facebook/Brokenpuppet Tattoo. You know, visit my website, check it out. You know, I love to hear from you guys. So, you know, whatever you guys want me to see me draw, drop me a message. You know, I'll add it to my list and I'll try and get it done soon. You know, always happy to help. For now, I'm the Broken Puppet. This is how to draw a shark, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.